Hello everyone, I hope you're doing well. I've decided the first rung on our rise to power, we shall be returning to our roots, and we will be covering the false god once more. Feels good to say that again. Now, I did say that me being a moderator for the false god was not going to stop me from making a video if need be. That was not an idle statement. I was 100% serious. Now, I, of course, gave him the opportunity to come on here for an interview, and I will share that with you now. Hey, I saw your video about the drama and got some serious deja vu. I hope you are doing well and that it isn't bothering you too much. I haven't really been active on YouTube lately, so I'm not really sure why these things are being brought up yet again. I would like to extend the invitation to come on my channel for an interview. I don't know if you have seen any of my previous interviews, but they are generally well received, and I have experience covering quote-unquote controversial people and topics. I would like it to be a full-length organized thing with supporting evidence. For example, you say an ex-mod bragged about their place of work and then claimed you doxed them. We can put a screenshots up and talk about it. I want you to be able to defend yourself in a well-structured way that is taken seriously. I think us sitting down together would carry enough weight that even your biggest detractors would be forced to take what is being said seriously and to actually listen. I feel telling the full story of your channel and addressing everything with me will finally be enough for everyone to move on. I actually think we would end up having quite a bit of fun while doing so. Let me know what you think. I hope you are able to find some peace with whatever you decide to do. In my opinion, it is a very reasonable statement. Oh, hello, Just Meg. And yes, things are going well for me. I hope things are going well for you as well. But yes, I have offered him a chance to come on here for an interview. I did not get a response back, and it has been quite a while, and I sent it shortly after the video was made. So I'm going to have to respond to this video and explain what he's getting wrong and explain to people what exactly he's doing, because without any context, it's very confusing. Just give me a moment. Hello, Bunny. Let's see, make sure that popped up all right. All right, looks good to me. Audio's on. All right, let's get to it. And yes, if this feels like we've talked about this before, it's because we have. Pretty much all of my videos are covering the same stuff that he's about to get into. He's just talking about it again for some reason. I have no idea why, but here we are.
Well, hey there, gal pals. So, for the third time today, I find myself yet again in this room. So, unfortunately, this is not going to be a pleasant, lively, jovial experience. This is going to be a live stream that is being streamed out of necessity. So, those of you who have been a part of my channel for a very long time know of the various things that I have been taken to task for in these very short few months that I have apologized for. But every time I get just a little tad bit of attention, even negative attention from someone like Nick Snyder of all the fucking people in the world, it always gets brought back up. So we're about to talk about it. But first, welcome back to my channel, y'all. Heavenly Father, please grant me the strength to not be as petty as I would like to be. Please, please grant me the fortitude to not just slap those goddamn grinder messages up on the screen and call it fucking quits.
Okay, well, we need to address that. Okay, now if you go back to my Hillbilly Hellride interview, he mentions this, that his ex has made a fake Grindr account in his name, and apparently one of Deity's moderators, because he doesn't do his own research, his moderators found it. And now, ever since then, he has been holding it over his head. He's been basically blackmailing him with false information. Now, just to make this a little more clear here, Deity goes on and on about how dangerous and how horrible being a gay man in the South is. I mean, he basically makes it sound like he's 1 or 2 steps away from being dragged behind a truck. And he wants to sit there and essentially hold it over someone's head. Be quiet about me or I'll out you. I mean, that is horrifying. I mean, if what he claims is about where he lives is true, that is horrifying. Horrifying behavior. The very first time he threatened Hillbilly Hellride with this stuff, he was like quoting Satanism. Like, I reacted to that stream. That was very disturbing. Either way, he continues to do it. We have already tried to explain multiple times that this is a fake Grindr account, but he's either unaware or he just is going to keep doing it. Anyway, let's continue.
Please, Heavenly Father, provide me with that strength to not be that petty, because right now I'm feeling pretty damn petty, y'all. So, let's gather our thoughts and let us dig in. Gonna need it. So, for starters, I have a video. It is currently, I guess the process is being run to determine whether or not it can be monetized. Of course, it'll be demonetized, at which time, yep, there it goes. I'll make it public. I don't give a fuck. Excuse me. So I'm just requesting a manual review, and then I'll make it public. Why does it keep doing this? You know, I really don't understand. If you know that I know what it is that I know, why would you keep continuously antagonizing me? Unless you want me to go so low as to put it out there to the world. I have the screenshots, like I can do that. But let's go back to the very, 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 very beginning. When
Again, if being gay is just this horrible thing where he lives, why does he keep threatening people with it? Is what Hillbilly is doing that bad? Is it really? To justify what he claims is going to go down if people find out that Hillbilly is got possibly a Grindr account? Possibly. I don't know. Doesn't seem right to me. Seems like a disproportionate response.
I first created this channel, very small, no subscribers, just making videos not only to talk about and give my opinion on various YouTubers, various problematic people, but I was also using this place to sort of vent my frustrations with the day-to-day life. At the time at which all of this was happening, the creation of my channel, I had been an assistant manager with the same company for about 10 years. Now, I had gone from one store to another store, and things at this new store were horrible. They were horrible. I went through a lot of homophobia in the workplace. I went through a ton of discrimination. If any of you have given your heart, your soul, your sweat, your good health to a company for 10 years, and you've kept these stores running, and at one point had the keys to 2 stores because they were that short of employees, and then for them to crap on you in the way that I was crapped on, you would have been every bit as frustrated as I am. Yes, this is the year 2020. However, we have not completely eradicated homophobia, especially in places like the place in which I live, which pretty soon you'll be seeing my address in the chat because that happens every so often. Now, homophobia is a rampant problem here. So is racism.
I will say on that point, I see his address in the chat constantly. Whenever we're covering him when he's done something controversial, it's his own fault though. He has doxed himself countless occasions. I mean, I have practically ordered people to send him things, to take things down. Please, he's doxing himself and his family yet again. I mean, I feel like if you're people making, quote unquote hate videos on you are begging you to stop doxing yourself, you are the one at fault.
That is why I have taken the strong stance that I have taken on both of these issues, because I grew up as a closeted child hearing people talk about gays, how they were going to burn in hell, how they didn't deserve to be alive, how they absolutely didn't need the same privileges that straight people need. I mean, that wasn't even really a consideration. It was more or less like focused on what can we do to get rid of these people. I grew up hearing all of that. And you know what? I saw my fair share of homophobia and racism in the place of work that I used to work at. And I worked at for 10 years. Now, what has been so bizarre about having gone through these instances of homophobia in the workplace? No one would help me. First of all, that was very bizarre. Second of all, because of the state in which I reside, there were no state laws and at the time no federal laws that would protect me in my place of work. None. No options. Spoke to 3 different attorneys. None. Third of all, in coming here to YouTube, what has been the most mind-boggling thing that I've noticed is that it's often homosexual men who will attempt to, I don't know, like come at me and mock me for the things that I've went through. And it becomes blatantly obvious when they do. They have no real understanding of what it's like to be treated that way when all you want to do is go to work so you can pay your fucking bills and take care of it.
Well, I will say that the gay men, he is right though. It seems to be a lot of gay men who have a problem with Deity in the Dollar General stuff. What I've seen is they say the exact same thing about him, that he doesn't actually know what it's like to experience homophobia. That is what they claim. Now, I am not going to comment one way or the other. That is just what I have seen a lot of them claim, that what he is claiming went down at the Dollar General is not that bad. And it's there was also some streams that people did comparing some of the stuff that he has put out on his own, on his actions related to the Dollar General, and then comparing it to the Dollar General employee handbook, and we're going over all the things that he did wrong. But either way, let us continue.
Care of your family. It's a disgusting feeling. It makes you feel low. It makes you feel inhuman. It makes you feel unsafe in your workplace. It's not right. It's not appropriate. And no one deserves to go through it. No one. Now, I went through it. Towards the tail end of things, it had gotten so bad with people just coming in and demolishing my store and things like that, that I went out on a medical leave. And then after the medical leave, I still didn't want to go back. So I took the rest of my vacation time. At the end of that, I called the DM because I had previously been making reports to Human Resources every damn night. The DM, by the way, had previously told me not to call the authorities, not to call the cops because the people were related to a coworker. So I had been filing reports with Human Resources, filing reports to the regional director, all of which, not all, but most, is included in some videos on the channel because of how often this is drug up. Now, I call my DM at the end of my vacation time and I'm asking, because the last Human Resources official I spoke to was dead set on having me transferred. And I ask her, I say, it's time for me to return to work. No, I took my vacation time first. And once that was over, I went on the medical leave because when I was trying to return to work, she was saying that she had not gotten my return to work certification from Matrix, but Matrix was telling me they had faxed it to her 3 times. She got it. She just didn't want me to go back. So I call her and I'm like, hey, I'm cleared to return to work. What's going on? Also, side note, I don't want to go back there. Where are you going to transfer me? Crickets. Oh, well, me and the Human Resources official that I've been partnering with are not going to transfer you. So I told her what I had been thinking of her. I told her because I was very angry. I was very upset that I would be treated that way after 10 years of service, after seeing thousands of people be hired and fired and quit. And here I am, someone who knows that job like the back of my hand, someone who put in so much hard work, and this is what they were doing to me. So I told her, I said, you were the most unprofessional bitch that I've ever worked with, and I will be getting each one of the 10 years back that I worked at this company. But of course, that was when I thought there was legal recourse, but there wasn't. Now, what has bothered me the most is even after quitting the job and moving on, these people have come to YouTube, they've come to Twitter to continue with what they were doing.
I'd like to say also, these people, who are the people? I think it's a person. Who are there multiple people? I mean, have I been sleeping on their? Do I need to go out and interview some more people? Apparently, because I'm only aware of the one. Is anyone aware of any other people out there in his personal life making videos about this? As far as I'm aware, it's the person, not the people. But
to me at that job, I will admit I made a huge mistake. When I was new to YouTube and I had virtually no audience. It was an audience of about 400 or 500 people, I would guess. I would be very open and very honest and very detailed about my issues and where I lived. It was the first time I had an account on a social media website that didn't really consist of anything other than friends and family. I mean, when you think about Facebook and sharing your information, you do so freely because those are your friends, those are your family. I was still in that same mindset.
no, you shouldn't, because that stuff is public. Even if it's just your friends and family, it's still public in a sense. You shouldn't do that.
So I was speaking freely, way too freely. I now know that that was a mistake. But in the process of making this mistake, I was very open about not only what it was that I was going through, but specifically about who the individuals were that were involved, insofar as coworkers. Meaning, I did say the district manager's name, and I did say the name of the assistant manager at the time. I don't know if she's still with the company. And that was a big source of friction between us. We were both there in the same store at the same position. Of course, there was conflict. And then I didn't find out till later that the DM had told me and the other girl not to speak with each other.
I mean, he did a lot more than post people's names or speak people's names. He was posting addresses. So, like, hold on. I can actually pull those screenshots up. I actually know where those are. Give me just a moment. Just so that there's clarification here. He did a lot of damage in that little stream there. And he had moderators involved in it too. So it's the channel was supporting it. I think the quote was "fuck that shit up." So I don't know why he's trying to claim now that it was just a name. Oh, no. Definitely not. Most definitely not. Hold on, let me redact this real quick so that don't be repost the store's information. God forbid. There we go. And that's a public email, so that's fine. Put that up nice and big, as you can see. Okay. They are clearly posting the information for the Dollar General for people to call it up, to contact it in the chat. And as you see, JB, one of the moderators, is right there doing it. And to be even more clarified, that moderator is his sister. So, yeah. Just to be clear here, so there is no confusion. It was not just speaking somebody's name. Okay. Let's get back to the video.
Other. Why? Because speaking with each other would eliminate all the guesswork, and she didn't want us to do that. I thought I was being told to do that because the other girl didn't want me to talk to her. She was told the same thing. Now, since coming on over here to YouTube, like I said, I made the mistake of speaking too freely about where I live, what I was going through, all of that. In doing so, I mentioned the DM, I mentioned the assistant manager. Why does that matter? Well,
oh, Bunny, you need me to zoom in on that picture? Oh, don't worry, I can do that real quick since he's still talking about it. Yeah, he mentioned their names, among other things. Of course, there's a way I could have them both up at the same time. That'd be nice. Well, to add on to that, JB was, or Jay, as she's known as now, was posting in his chat not too long ago, claiming that the hillbilly's girlfriend is terrified whenever she goes into the store now. So somehow it's evolved. They've conquered their fears. Before they were terrified, they couldn't go to the store to get chips, but now the Dollar General fears them. Yes, they are the conquerors. Not close enough. We all see that. I can see it. But yes, as you can see, JB here. Well, zoom in further. Enhance. Okay. Right there. Did not just speak people's names. He wanted people to fuck that store up. Paraphrasing, but fuck that shit up. He was referring to the store.
it matters because someone decided to bring his sorry ass on over to YouTube to continue harassing me. And why? What's his excuse for doing so? I spoke about his girlfriend. No, I didn't. No, I didn't. At the time at which I was a manager for this company, your girlfriend, she was a part-time cashier. She worked there 3 nights a week.
Interesting. Okay. Hold on. I see something. Hello, Hopelessly Realistic. I think this is harassment. Deity doesn't speak of you. Why do you continue to bring him down and try to harm him? His life has nothing to do with any of you. Interesting. Well, no, this is not harassment. If I wanted to harass people, I'm very good at it. I can definitely show you harassment. He does speak of me in this video. Not negatively, but he does speak of me. I'm not trying to bring him down, and I'm definitely not trying to harm him. If I was trying to harm him, believe me, the world would know. His life has nothing to do with any of us. No, it does not have anything to do with us. However, he continues to talk about it on the internet, so I guess it does deserve to be commented on, especially if you have other people in his life saying this isn't true. He's talking poorly about our town, talking poorly about people in the town that are on YouTube. But anyway, let us continue.
Four-hour shifts. That was it. She wasn't there to see what I went through. None of that. In fact, what angers me the most about this entire situation that you've like dreamed up in your mind is that I considered your girlfriend at the time to be a friend of mine. She was the only one at that store that I could freely speak to about what it was that I was experiencing. The only one. And for you to proceed to come to my YouTube channel and try to make it out as if I was ever at any point in time speaking negatively about her, that infuriates me to my soul. It hurts me. But you know that. Even worse than that, you've gone on to spread lies to any sizable, significant YouTube channel that you can in the hopes of being made into someone when you are nothing. Why didn't it ever go anywhere? Why? Because you were lying and they knew that. They knew that. And it blows my mind. I don't understand.
I'm confused. Has Hillbilly Hellride been exposed as a liar? From what I understand, everything that he said is, for the most part, checked out. I mean, I can't think of anything that he has said in relation to the situation that anyone has fact-checked and had issues with. I mean, I know that stream where we went through, I think it was on the Suit Yourself channel, where we went through his claims, where his big Dollar General video where he went through the whole thing and we compared it to the employee handbook. But there was a lot of issues there that went even further than even Hillbilly was talking about. So this has been talked about by third parties and even dug into further.
And in the one interaction I had with you, in which I genuinely believe that you were honestly mistaken, and I was explaining to you that at no point in time did I ever mention your girlfriend.
Are we back? What the fuck? How far were we off? Hello? People? That was odd. I got booted. But alright. Let's pop it back up. Get back to it.
I can't carry the blame for that. I didn't even know that you had a YouTube channel. So that night that you popped up in my live stream and you started commenting and saying the things you said, it honestly disturbed me because I didn't know that you had a YouTube channel. So I was thinking, okay, well, someone's already found out, you know, my exact address, yada, 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 all this, all that. And I was thinking it was a troll, and I hid you. Come to find out,
That's not how I remember it, and that's not how Hillbilly has corroborated it either. What I seem to recall happening is Hillbilly showed up spamming his video in your live stream chat and in your comment section. Okay, everyone freaked out, and we're talking about how they were going to screenshot everything, how they've basically made the case for them because you were still trying to pursue some type of legal action against Dollar General. So, like, you all knew who he was. You didn't think it was a troll, as far as I'm aware, because he was spamming it in the comment section, the link to the video. Okay. His ability to misremember things is very interesting. I've noticed that with a lot of people on YouTube. They misremember and dramatize just about everything.
it was you, someone from the community in which I live, who has proceeded to carry on with the very actions that caused me to quit my job of 10 years. You. Why? What is it that you're hoping for? You're hoping for some type of recognition instead of working for that on your own. You've latched onto my existence. And not only that, you're lying. You're such a liar. There is a reason that you have been kicked out of every community that you've tried to become a part of here on YouTube. You use me as a means through which to weasel your way in, and when nothing that you say can be verified, they're done with you. You are only useful to people when you act as if you have dirt on me, but you don't.
I'm not quite for sure if that's how it went down. And if Hillbilly was ousted from every community because his information on Deity didn't check out, I don't believe that's how it's gone down. I mean, if someone wants to correct me here, I'm pretty sure that's not how it went down in any situation.
I worked for that company for 10 years, and I worked hard. Hard. For you to even suggest that I had ever done anything at that company except my job is laughable, and it's disgusting, and it's targeted discrimination and harassment.
I see people in the chat referring to the you, and I'm trying to use names so that people will know who I'm talking about, because he doesn't use names. Everyone is you, a collective you, or you all, or they, them. You know, everyone is a collective. You know, it's a hive mind against him. A hive mind. If you are named by the false god, I guess that's like a badge of honor.
So one of the lies that he likes to tell is that I sexually harassed a male coworker. Baby, I had one male coworker, and he was 80 years old, and he was this man who had just gotten back from his medical leave for having had a stroke. Girl, you're so full of shit.
I swear, Deity, you've barely been on YouTube at all. You've already had 2 sexual assault allegations against you. Being a YouTuber sucks, doesn't it? I don't know anything about the whole sexually harassing a male coworker thing. I don't think that was said on any of my interviews, so I can't comment on that. Either way, we should probably avoid saying stuff like that on YouTube, in my personal opinion.
And like at this point, I said it myself over and over and over. I shouldn't address it, because if I don't, it remains nothing coming from the mouth of no one. And that's very much what it is, until I seek to address it. But I chose to address it because I saw you speaking to Tippy and Nikki Oreo and all these other fucking people. And so I need to address that as well, because, you know, they're going to get their hopes up. They're going to think they found gold in finding someone that's willing to lie for them. But once they find out it's a lie, and then they've gone on to discredit themselves on their live stream and their platform, they're going to look foolish, and they're not going to be too happy with you. But yeah, I take full responsibility for engaging in what at the time I didn't even fucking know what it meant. Doxing my DM and my assistant. I didn't know that's what I was doing. I really didn't know. I was sitting online expressing how frustrated and fed up I was. And not only that, how upset I was to have to give up a job that I loved for 10 years. That hurt me in a way that I didn't expect it to hurt. It hurt me bad. But anyway. So I see Tipster and Nicholas Diorio. Excuse me. They like to engage in these conversations anytime I'm mentioned, and they like to act as if I'm the scum of the earth and I've done so many horrible things. What did I do to them? When the situation popped off with Shiloh, I legitimately had no idea what was going on, but I was live streaming. People were talking about it in the chat. No idea what had taken place.
Hold on. Let me make sure. Something real quick. Look, this is stressful for him, all right? The chain smoking, he just has to. He has to chain smoke. This is very stressful for him. Okay. All right. We're good.
Excuse me. So I invited someone from the chat to come up on and speak. She gave me a very, very fast breakdown of what had taken place with Nicholas Diorio, Shiloh, and Sarah. Now, in hearing that Shiloh had taken exception to Nicholas Diorio having asked questions about Sarah, where she was going to school, if she needed the funds, all of that, I just naturally took it for granted that Nick had messaged Sarah. I took that for granted because that's what it sounded like. I should have fact-checked, but I didn't. Why? Because even before talking about the situation, I said out loud on the live stream, I don't know what's going on. So this is not me giving you facts. This is me having a conversation and trying to get to the bottom of it. That was a foolish mistake, but I thought I could have a conversation with people on my fucking live stream.
No, you most definitely cannot. People really don't like it when you do that. They really don't like it.
So they don't like to tell people that I made a follow-up video in which I acknowledge that I was wrong. But I don't consider myself to have been so severely wrong, because even if you want to set aside, like, oh, he never messaged her and you said he messaged her, he was still in like her Twitter notifications really replying to people who were talking about the situation. So even if it wasn't DMs, there was still communication. There was still questions. So messages, or another word, to me it's interchangeable. There was communication. Shiloh saw it. She reacted the way she reacted. I still don't believe that we can fault her for having that reaction, and I'm not going to. And honestly, I think the people who have sought to demonize her for reacting the way she did and for using the word she did are people who are attempting to act as if their delicate sensibilities are just so triggered and so bothered. Because these people, they engage in bothering, harassing people relentlessly online. And they've each engaged in the use of language that is very similar to that of which Shiloh used. All of them. None of these people are any better than the next person. None of them.
That's actually true. I agree. Everyone is equally scummy. Everyone is equally scummy. I agree with that 100%. I didn't agree with, the path it took to get there, but I agree with his final point.
There was one more issue that I had during my time on YouTube. Actually, two more. No, three more. Damn, I'm racking them up. All right. Let's talk about Muse. Psycho Muse. Shouldn't have said it, but I said it. Screen grab it for me. Now, Muse Talks interjected herself into my community at a point in time in which I was having a very, very difficult time with Real Stream News and with someone by the name of the YouTube Schizophrenic. I have since blocked Real Stream News, and I have since chosen to not speak to him, to not acknowledge him, and I've made things right with the YouTube Schizophrenic. I keep wanting to say the tweeting schizophrenic, but it's the YouTube Schizophrenic. Now, at the time...
Hold on. I'll be back. Don't go nowhere. Since they're talking about me. You know, I tried to get her to come in here and defend herself, but she says no. So I guess we'll just move on. Thought I was going to surprise the world, but God forbid. I agree with that as well. Shiloh has like gone off the deep end. Like I used to be a Shiloh apologist. But my God, she is just insane. Oof. I still sympathize with her, but wow. Can't be an apologist anymore.
At which all of this was taking place, that's when the old dude that I just spent a good chunk of time talking about resurfaced online and started saying all these horrible, vile lies about me on live streams with Real Stream News. The tweeting schizophrenic. I think at one time he was on Suit Yourself's live stream, but I love Suit, so I don't even give a fuck. And I was very upset. As someone who was new to the platform, I was like spiraling because I had seen where people had made accusations against other people and it was just believed point blank from the start. So in seeing someone say something so hurtful and so gross and so fraudulent about me, I freaked out. And then to know that Craig, of all people, knowing his sketchy past, knowing his sketchy history, was the one facilitating these conversations, that pissed me off even more. Then he went on to prod and poke and consistently hang it over my head that he was in talks with people in the area in which I live. That set me on fire.
Well, it would make sense why you all would be angry that he would be covering you. However, I think you all are very similar. I think you all are more similar than any one of you will ever admit. I mean, you can both be riled up by trolls so fucking easily. And you're both very easily, like, led down a path and used by people. It's very, very interesting. Like, I think if you two are way more similar than any of you will ever admit. However, he's allowed to cover you. And I've never heard him say he was reaching out to multiple people in your life. I've heard him say, jokingly, he was going to get the Dollar General CCTV footage. And that he did interview Hillbilly Hillride. But that's not... Where are all these people? Them, they, all, like the collective. Where are they at? I'm very curious.
Not only because of just how gross the whole situation was, but because of the fact that he was using these people who had caused me to lose my job and quit my job of 10 years against me. Like that hurt me. That hurt me in a weird fucking way, y'all. It triggered me. Now.
Hello, Oblexious. Welcome. And yes, I imagine all those people doing that did trigger you. Probably shouldn't have brought it all up on a live stream and encouraged your audience to attack the Dollar General. Like, even if you're not used to the internet, you have to think that that'll come back at some point. I mean, your channel was small, yeah, but it wasn't that small. It was bigger than mine. It was a lot bigger than a lot of other channels when you did that. So.
He pushed and pushed and pushed and pushed and pushed until I was at a point at which I wanted it to stop. I wanted it to stop. And I would have done anything I could to get it to stop. Now, I found the more vocal I was about what Craig was doing to me on YouTube, the more people sought me out and provided me with different receipts and different bits of information on Craig. So you're damn right. He was sitting there in a live stream day after day after day, letting it be known that he was talking to this person where I live, and that person, and this person, and another person. So you're damn right. I went into a live stream and I threatened to dox him. I did. I wanted him to know that he is not untouchable, because he was very much being arrogant and had this idea that people couldn't find information about him. But I was very clear.
I wouldn't say he's arrogant and thinks people can't find information on him. I think he's very, very well aware that people can. I think he's arrogant in the sense that he doesn't care, but so am I. So, I mean, that's not a bad thing. I think you should be a little arrogant in that sense that you shouldn't care what people dig up on you. Might save you a lot of mental stress. Might avoid live streams like this in the future.
The only reason that I didn't stoop so low as to actually provide the information is because, quite frankly, I'm better than him. Better than him. I am, and I can say that wholeheartedly. No, at no point in time did I leak RSN's information to the world. I could have. I should have. I would have been justified in doing so, but I didn't. Instead, I was speaking with someone.
I don't think that he reached the level, Real Stream News reached the level where doxing him would have been an acceptable recourse of action by any stretch of the imagination. That would be a dramatic escalation, actually. At least from everything I've seen and everything I've heard, he didn't do anything to you that any other YouTuber hasn't done before. Okay, doxing him for that would have been definitely would not have been called for in any capacity. Any capacity. I mean, even threatening to dox him wasn't called for. I don't know. Yeah.
One who had been through similar things with Craig Muse. In fact, to hear her explain it, RSN was the one who was previously her boyfriend who abused her and something. That's what she led me and everyone else in my community to believe. She told me that for the longest time he had been harassing her online, and she had to file a report against him for harassment and stalking and everything else. She told me to do the same, and I did, because I wanted it to stop.
Again, what is with these people threatening legal action? Like, you talk about them on the internet and they try to call the police on you. I just don't get it. Don't get it. Like I said, the next person who threatens me with the police, I'm making an example out of them. I'm going to, like, find some way to eviscerate them and destroy them and ruin them in some capacity. I'm going to, like, put it on display and say, you threaten me with lawyers in some way, this is what I'll do to you. Because I'm getting tired of it. Because, like, almost everyone I've covered on YouTube has threatened me with a lawyer. I mean, I think the worst case I had, I mean, Deity here has threatened me with legal action multiple times. Heavy Down threatened to report me to the FBI Cybercrimes Division on a live stream with Deity. And it was just, what? What cybercrime have I committed? I still don't know to this day. But let us continue.
Never followed up on it. I never called the people, and I haven't heard anything else about it. Shortly after that, I made the decision to have a discussion with RSN on his channel. I was already doing a live stream in which Courtney and Heavy Down were up on the screen, and I will always be thankful to each of them for having been there with me in a difficult moment. But unfortunately, Heavy Down likes to talk, and she overpowered the entirety of the conversation. I barely got to say anything. But when I did, I mentioned how I was basically done. Not only with him, but with all the other people who had been speaking out to me, providing me with information against him. And that I wanted it to stop. Because at this point, Muse was taking a horrible emotional toll on me. Always demanding that I let her on my live stream, that I do this, that I do that. And if I didn't, I was invalidating her as a victim. If I didn't, I was contributing to her abuse. I was exhausted. I was done with it. So I said, I'm done with these people. And I meant it. But of course, because...
Oh, let's talk about that as well. You were done with these people. I've seen the interactions. At no point did you say the word no. Like, the word no has never been used. Like, I think you've said in live streams before in relation to an incident at the Dollar General bathroom that you have a problem saying no. And you do. You don't say no to anyone. You don't necessarily say yes, but you refuse to say no. That offer for the interview I showed at the beginning of the stream, he never gave me a response, not a yes or a no. So, you know, Deity, you know, you need to learn how to say no. It's very easy. You got to start off small, you know, say no about little things. But once you've said it once or twice, it's very easy. I tell people no all the time. I had Holly in Real Stream News on edge, ready to get on my stream, and my guest wasn't comfortable with it. So I said no. Very easy. Very easy, in fact. So, Deity, respond to my interview request. If you don't want to do it, tell me no. Tell me to go fuck myself. I mean, speak your mind. It's not that hard, especially over the internet. Especially over the internet.
I was done with her. And because I stopped giving her access to my platform, she went on to demonize me. She went on to spread the message to anyone who would listen to her that because I had had that conversation with RSN, I was contributing to her abuse. I was invalidating her experiences. But what I've always thought was interesting about that is around the same time, if not before, shortly after, Wes Most, who she had us all believing she was.
Hold on. Craig is Real Stream News. No. Hillbilly Hellrider is you or them or they, from what I can tell so far in the video. And from what I understand, the wizard has moved on. I don't know if he still has a channel or not, or if he has one that he wants public. So you'd have to look into that yourself. And yes, 4 cigarettes in. 4 cigarettes in.
Romantically involved with, went on to have a conversation with RSN publicly on his live stream as well. And she never, not once, said that in having that conversation with RSN, Wes was invalidating her experiences. Not once did she say that. Never. So she was clearly upset because she had lost access to my platform. As small as it is, it was still bigger than what she had access to. Now, Muse would go on to say the most outlandish, bizarre shit. And anytime I spoke out against her, people thought I was the one bullying. Like, it was the most bizarre situation to be in. And unfortunately, I'm so sorry that he had to go through this, but it wasn't until Wes Most went through what he went through with Muse that people started to realize this bitch has been lying. And people started putting 2 and 2 together, realizing that it equals fish. And then they decided, yeah, this bitch is nuts. And that's how it went. That's how it went. Now, insofar as the tweeting schizophrenic is concerned, he was also platforming this person who...
Why are they calling me the tweeting schizophrenic?
While they were never directly involved at the time with what I went through at my job, they had sort of latched onto that and used that as their way to sort of introduce themselves to various other communities on YouTube. And he was platforming this individual. Now, the tweeting schizophrenic, or the YouTube schizophrenic, was upset at the time because I had chosen to hide him for some comments he had made on Holly Undead's videos, RSN's videos, or some shit. One of my former...
It was a Holly Undead parody video. Deity Unfiltered, which, by the way, is still accurate to this day. To this day.
Moderators was involved. Now, he was upset, and that's why he was doing what he was doing. Point blank. Now, it ended up putting me in a very similar emotional state that I was in with RSN. Only it went farther because he wouldn't stop. So one night, I thought to myself, because he was talking to Heavy Down while I had her on stream with me, and he ventured over into her Discord and was talking to her. Like, I have a whole video about this as well.
That was also inaccurate. She had DM'd me trying to get information out of me, essentially. So that way she could run it back to become a moderator for him. That's how it was. I wasn't in her Discord. I mean, I was in her Discord, but I don't post in people's Discords. Everyone who's Discord admin can attest to that. Now, she had privately DM'd me because I was a fan of hers back in the very beginning. Heavy Down I thought was hilarious before she went off the deep end and became like an emotional train wreck.
And I thought to myself, okay, well, let's just have a conversation. And I thought it was going to be a conversation. I thought I would have been capable of having a conversation with this person, but I couldn't. As soon as I saw his face, I started screaming and yelling at him. And it was at that point I realized how angry and just violated I felt.
To be honest, I wish we could get you back to that state. I think it would do you a lot of, well, it'd be entertaining, and it would do you a lot of good just to let it out like that. If you're curious what he's talking about, you can look at the, because his version is down. I have apparently the only version. Look at the Deity versus the YouTube schizophrenic live stream I did. And you can just watch him lose his mind on me. I think I also played it during the Hillbilly Hellride interview because it's insane the way this dude loses his shit on stuff that is entirely fabricated. He knows now that it's fabricated, but at the time he was convinced that I was reaching out to everyone in his personal life, that I was riling up an angry mob outside his house, basically. I think that's the term he used in that video he's referring to, that I was riling up an angry mob outside his house.
And of course, instead of people being able to understand why I would have felt that way, even though they were privy to the entire situation while it was happening, they went on to say they wouldn't have acted in the same way. Keep in mind, during this point in time, when these people had access to people in the community in which I lived in, at my former place of work, we live in a rural fucking area. There's one goddamn store, two goddamn stores, two. And I worked at both of them with these same goddamn people.
Hold on. There was a very poignant comment here. Nobody has any idea what he's talking about. He sits there and goes on these vague rants that pisses everyone off, okay? And then everyone in his chat, a lot of them are new reviewers. They have no idea what's going on. They have no idea. So then I feel compelled to come on here and then explain everything to people and, you know, add in extra context and explain what reality is compared to whatever recollection he seems to have of it. Like, I don't understand how a person can be this vague and not confuse themselves. Oh.
Now that I wasn't there anymore, my family still had to shop there. Do you know what it felt like knowing that my family was too scared to go in the fucking store? Yet again, I was reliving exactly what I went through day after day at that place of work, and it never should have happened in the first place. Never. It should not have been allowed to continue. But I experienced all of those same feelings again, except it was worse because this time I felt like there's really no getting away from these people. There's no getting away from them. So yeah, I snapped. I wanted him to understand how much grief and how much pain he had caused not only me, but my fucking family. And it was obvious when I saw him smirking that he didn't understand.
I don't understand because it was all fabricated.
Now, shortly after that, Alex's Shook chose to post about it on his Twitter, which yet again, I don't understand. It shows a special kind of privilege when you, as a homosexual male, can mock something so hurtful. Homophobia.
I can't tell if you're being sarcastic or not. It was Hillbilly Hallride's girlfriend who was in the store. But I know, I'm sure people probably would be confused. So wait a minute, was Muse the one working at the store? In your personal life? Jesus Christ.
But anyway, that sparked a conversation between myself and the YouTube schizophrenic. He's a cool dude. I actually, get along with him. And things went well because I can actually have a civil conversation. I had to get that out of me because it was eating me up. It was killing me.
Yeah, and we can. And I like to talk to Deity. That's why I invited him on the stream. I even said in the message it would be fun. And I think he said in a live stream recently that he's looking for like a concise way to put it all to bed. And that's literally what I offered. Literally what I offered. I don't know. Either that or he just needs to stop talking about this specific stuff and keep dwelling on it in these vague rants.
I had a conversation with him, so we're cool. That's basically all I can say about that. I will never, ever be open to having another conversation with RSN as long as I fucking live. Because unlike most people who are capable of logic, reason, most people are grounded firmly in reality. He's just not. And nothing good can ever come from speaking to him. Nothing. Even if he were to approach you and say, hey, I have a YouTube channel and I want to cover this story, don't do it. Because once he has covered your story and there's seemingly nothing else profitable that he can get from you, He will then go on to torment and harass you and turn that into content.
Well, that does seem to be the trend. That does seem to be the trend. Yeah.
You know, I see people in the chat saying he's changed. I can't. I can't, and I won't. I would so much rather create the videos that I came here to create and live.
That was one person in the chat saying that, by the way. He sees one person say something. He says, people. Like, if you go back and watch it, it's Trisha saying that. It's one person. What is with him? If one person does something, it does not equal people. There are not multiple people. Oh, my God. He goes on vague rants about multiple people when it's like individuals doing these things. Like, you know, there's multiple people speaking out in his personal life when it's just hillbilly.
Live my life, then involve myself in that again. I can't. He doesn't change. I gave him so many opportunities. He does not and will not change. Now, I will not be mentioning the name of this person because every time I mention this person, they somehow get in contact with me and threaten litigation and go completely crazy. I will not be mentioning this person's name.
Oh, you're not going to mention this person's name. You're not going to mention this person's name. But you've mentioned everyone else's name, right? This whole time?
It's not a crime to explain actual factual events. It's so bizarre. So when I first started YouTube and I started to gain just a tiny little bit of traction, honey, I had 1,000 subs. I finally got monetized and I was finally able to do live streams. Of course, when you're able to do live streams, you're able to promote people up to the position of moderator. Bitch, moderator is the worst position that YouTube ever could have made because people go crazy over a pretend position on a social media website. They lose their damn minds. Now,
look. Okay, the moderator position thing, you're absolutely right about. You see, the trick I've found is you got to keep your audience like at each other's throats to get the moderator positions. Don't have them at your throat to get a moderator position. Have them compete with each other. Make a competition out of it. I think he did it the wrong way. He just moderated people he saw regularly. Yeah, no, that's not how you do. Not how you do. You got to make them earn the position. That's how you handle
it. Unfortunately, I don't really know why I went on to create a mod chat in which they could all communicate and I could communicate with them, except for at the time, obviously I had just lost my job and socializing, right? That proved to be nothing but a problem. Emotions ran high. People were bickering. People were accusing this one of that and that one of this. And that thread caused so many of the problems that I went on to have with so many people because I couldn't make everyone happy. I couldn't.
Oh, they were like it was like a squad of mean girls. They were at each other's throats in that moderator thread. Absolutely. Yes, he's 100% right. All his problems stemmed from that. He should never have had it.
Now, there was this person who would always go strangely above and beyond. And I could see that in the chats as I was doing live streams. What I didn't know until after the fact is that this person was actually going out of their way to have conversations with people behind the scenes if they left my live stream in a huff. And then, after the fact, proceeded to blame me for the pressure they felt for their moderating position when I never asked them to do any of the fuck shit they were doing. In fact, that's why I got rid of them.
That is 100% true. I have no doubt that his moderators were doing this all on their own accord. However, When they sent him things, he chose to act on it. Okay. Now, yes, they were supplying this information and hyping it up, but that does not mean that you have to act on it. That is still your decision. You still pulled the trigger, so to speak. YS, are you the Joker? I kind of consider myself to be more like Deadpool, but I guess if I'm being compared to the Joker, that's okay. Onision compares himself to the Joker though, and I don't know if I want to be associated with that. But no, I'm probably closer to Deadpool, I feel. Let us continue on.
Now, I chose to demod this person because...
Oh, hold on. Oh, yeah, I forgot. Yes, that is who he's talking about. I wasn't going to name them because they're going to contact me and threaten me with legal action. I joked on Twitter that I was going to interview them. Okay, and people are just like, you're a liar, you're bullshitting. Yeah, you know shit, I'm lying and bullshitting. I don't want to contact this person. This person's a psycho. They're going to they claimed that because I got forwarded an email, okay, that their family lived in fear of me in my comment section. They claimed their family lived in fear of me. Yes, the forwarding of emails, putting families in danger. Absolutely psychotic. That's actual psychosis. You know, people on YouTube call each other crazy. That's actually crazy.
Because something surfaced, and there were screenshots of this person engaging in an altercation with a regular viewer who had been viewing me for quite a long time. And I just couldn't pretend like that was okay. I mean, it was completely unnecessary. The viewer had left a comment on one of my videos. The mod came and commented under that, and fighting for the sake of fuck shit. So, not only that, it seemed odd not only to me, but to all the other moderators at the time that this person was taking up for arson, knowing what all arson had done to me.
Oh, hopelessly realistic. They're not just adults. That Michelle D person has children. I don't even want to get started on that idea. She's talked about her kids. She talks about her kids a lot. And I hope she is a better mother than she is YouTube commenter. Jeez.
Now, after demodding this person, they proceeded to send me 30-something emails to my business email, which is why it's no longer there. The link is there on my channel, but it's no longer active. You can no longer communicate with me through that email. She sent me so many psychotic emails alleging the weirdest shit, which I always thought was weird, primarily because her biggest issue and her biggest complaint with me was that I never responded to her private messages, that I never was open to communication. But suddenly,
every single person that I have seen that says anything about this person will get spammed with emails. And yes, they will contact you on stock accounts as well to continue spamming you. And yeah, alleging weird things. Believe 100% of the time, anything he says about this person is probably accurate, actually. He's not dramatizing this at all.
suddenly, I went from that to you alleging this heinous shit. And then it hit me why she would be doing that. Why she would be making these accusations that she felt comfortable to make at that point in time. Why?
We have a stream we did together. Might have actually be two or three streams actually of talking about Deity and his really long Dollar General video. If you can find them, I assume they're still up. But yeah, I haven't really seen Suit on much. I don't know what he's up to. I've also been really busy, so that's why it took me so long to react to this, is because I've just been so busy. So yeah, hopefully we can do something together at some point. And yes, all these people need to meet at the store. Yes. Actually, that reminds me of something. One of the theories, because Deity was claiming that people were actually reaching out to the store and contacting them. One of the theories is after Michelle D, the psycho, was demodded, is she started doing that. And somehow it got pinned on me because I was making videos about it. That seems to be the trend on YouTube. You make some videos about someone and they pin whatever happens to them on you. It's interesting. But no one can confirm or deny that. However, based on what we have so far, if someone was really contacting the store and starting up things, she's a hell of a suspect.
Because at the time I existed in a community of people online that was doing commentary on Onision. There was this large portion of people that was flocking to and from Onision content. And the false allegations she proceeded to make were allegations that these people would be more likely to grasp onto and to hold on as being true just because it was made in language they were familiar with. But just so you know, I never groomed, hang on, just so you know, me sitting here as a flamboyant homosexual in my 20s, I never groomed a 48, 50-year-old woman. A woman I never met. Like, what the fuck? What the fuck?
I'm sorry, I actually have no idea what the fuck he's talking about here. Did that Michelle D person actually claim that Deity groomed her? I give up. I give up. Again, based on everything I have personally seen and people have shown me, I completely believe this. I completely believe this. Wow. I was not expecting that one.
Like, I don't get it. People are insane. And that leads me back to this dude that lives in the area in which I live, who is continuously trying to latch himself on to all of these different things that I've spoken about.
Oh, don't compare Michelle D to Hillbilly Hillroy. They are not comparable in any capacity. Hillbilly is significantly more sane. Significantly.
Constantly saying, oh, he's talking about my girlfriend. I never spoke about your girlfriend. Never. What the fuck? And then knowing that he has been open about the fact that he blames me for the fact that his channel was never successful. I see what you're doing. You're attempting to wave your hands in the air and draw attention to you by screaming, hey, I know this, I know that, when you have always been and will always be a stranger to me. You don't know shit about me. Nothing. Except for one conversation we had.
Yeah, but you've said before that his girlfriend was like your friend at the store. Like you talked about things. Like you had common interests. You spoke. So even if he does not have like a lot of personal experience with you, okay, the through the girlfriend, you know, you can glean things through a third party. So either way.
I happen to know that RSN's community doesn't want anything to do with you. Suits community doesn't want anything to do with you, and so on and so forth. And all of these are communities that you broke into by pretending that you knew something about me. You didn't know anything then, and you don't know anything now, because quite honestly, I'm a boring motherfucker. There ain't nothing to know. The most outrageous thing about me is my opinions. And they're pretty much known, baby. They're up here on my channel. Now, let's talk about Nick. So, as a commentary channel, what you do is you see what is going on in the world and you give your commentary. Everybody fucking does it. Everybody. Now, I saw that Nick Snyder was giving the smaller channel a very hard time. I'm not saying this is concrete. I'm not saying it's a fact, but I felt sorry for the person because it seemed to me that this person maybe maybe has some type of disability. So I commented under Nick Snyder's comment, and I just simply used the argument that I've been using this whole time, that he's so fucking hypocritical, because that's what he is. This whole time, he wants to run around making accusations against Luscious, insulting her for being poor, for being Latino, for saying that she's a sex worker who sells herself for $25. Gee, why would you feel comfortable enough to make that kind of statement? It's because of the privilege you have that makes you feel that it's okay to talk to people like that. That's what it is.
Maybe it was a cruel joke. I mean, I don't know that situation in particular, but it sounds like a cruel joke. And yes, I noticed the nails. I noticed the nails. That's what I was staring at, like as he's doing the cigarette. I've noticed the nails. Yeah. Oof. Those are some nice talons. Nice talons. Maybe that's intentional. Those look like they're like, you know, they're taken care of. Good for him. You go, girl. Enjoy the nails. What's the cigarette count on? Is he on his 5th cigarette yet, or is he still on the 4th? I lost track.
When you can't see fault in what it is that you yourself do, and it's the same shit another person does, and yet you use that to shame them, there is a bias. That's what it is.
Bunny, you and I are on the same wavelength. That's exactly what I was thinking. Whoa. Anyway.
Is plain and simple. Honestly, in talking about this Nick Snyder bullshit, I was just having fun. I was just doing commentary. It wasn't until I saw the usual crew flocking to Nick wanting ass pats that I felt the need to have this conversation. And I guess this is something that I'm going to have to talk with you all about every single time my channel goes up a little bit with views or subs or whatever the fuck it may be.
No, you need to get it in a nice, concise place like you wanted. And I have offered that to you. You can't find a more like knowledgeable person to cover the situation and find the reality of it. Okay? Because I was present for a lot of it, physically there. What would be the term? I'm a witness.
But if that's the case, that's the case. And for any of you who are wondering, there is video after video after video on my channel of me speaking about what I went through.
Plus, technically, I went on your stream once, and you screamed at me the entire time. So I feel like I'm owed something slightly. Possibly. You know, you did mute me the entire time and scream at me. Just saying. Just saying. I'm not playing on your emotions. I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
Now, insofar as Tipster News and Nicholas Diorio are concerned, I've not once watched any of their videos. Not a single time. In discussing those people once in that live stream, I was doing so, didn't even know who the fuck these people were. I was doing so because someone told me that Shiloh reacted the way they reacted because of having communicated, or dude having communicated and asking questions about Sarah. So naturally, I assumed he had been messaging her, and I said that. And then I issued a follow-up video in which I corrected that. But yet they've held that as like a vendetta. And I guess because of the fact that they had such a hate boner for me, because of semantics, really, these other people that I've had trouble with on YouTube have flocked to them and made them believe that, you know, they have the truth on me, they have the scoop on me, when all they really want is attention. They want to feel validated. They want to feel welcome in your community. They want all of that. Not only that, they're hoping to create videos about me in conjunction with you or whoever else that'll get them a start on their own channels. That's what they want. And it's so sad though, because it's like, I know that it's easy to resort to me because of the proximity, but baby, I'm nobody. That's why I was poking fun at Nick Snyder having taken issue with my videos. I'm fucking nobody. I'm down here
I don't think it has anything to do with like proximity. He's not picking on you because he lives in the same town. He's picking on you because you talked about him and his girlfriend. And in their opinion, you said things that weren't true. I don't think it has anything. I don't think it's like that's not a thing on YouTube. Oh, I need to go pick on the people who live near me. That's not a thing. I've never heard of that happening where you have that kind of behavior. I'm trying to think. Like, has there been anything where, like, oh, I'm on this channel, I'm going to go pick on people that live in the same place as me? Like prank channels, that's about the closest thing I can think of.
At the bottom of YouTube, and these people act like I can't make a simple fucking mistake and use the word messages, the word inbox, when that's not really what happened. Even when I was very clear and I said, we're just having a conversation. I'm not giving facts. I'm trying to figure out what happened. I don't know. When I saw this happening, because people were sending me DMs containing the screenshots of the tweets they were making to Nick Snyder, I just decided, oh, here we go. Let's talk about it again. Because it's so daunting. Okay, if I had ever actually been involved in like a real fucking scandal, it would be one thing to have that coming up over and over and over and over, right? But to know that it's
you were definitely involved in a real scandal. I showed the screenshots of you doxing the Dollar General and having your sister be in the chat supporting it with you with the quote in the live stream being to fuck that shit up. Okay, that's definitely a scandal, my friend. That's definitely a scandal, and it keeps being brought up in a big part because you keep bringing it up.
consistently and constantly these people who are trying to sensationalize every little thing that happens. And not only that, tagging along with them is this dude that's lying through his fucking skull. It becomes daunting. It's very daunting. And not only that, but because of the person who is doing this and the fact that he lives here and the fact that he is connected with my former place of employment and everything I went there, I have to go through that every single goddamn time. Every time. Every time. And if you ask me, in 2020, it's not fair that people should have to experience that kind of hate. It's not fair. And if I really wanted to, I could sit up here and I could end it all. I could end.
Wait a minute. What? You're gonna sit up there and end it all? Wait, no, man. Please don't. Please don't. Please don't.
You, your life, and me in the process. Because of course I would lose my channel because of what the screenshot is. But it's almost worth it at this point. Like, it's almost worth it. I mean,
look. You're threatening to out a gay man in the South with all that crap you spew about how horrible it is to be a gay man in the South. If you do that, you are, like, by your own definition, like the worst person on the planet. Well, here's the thing, Bunny. On the surface, it sounds like he's saying, like, he's going to end it all by, outing the alleged hillbilly hillride grinder thing. But if you listen to what he said, he's going to destroy him. He's going to destroy himself. I don't know. That's a weird statement to make. I think that he was referring to hillbilly hillride, but he's also talking about how he's going to destroy himself as well. Which I don't know how, like, even if he showed screenshots, like, I don't know if that would destroy his YouTube channel the way he's saying. I don't know. It's weird wording. All right, let's resume.
I mean, to have to sit there constantly and watch this person lie, knowing good and damn well you never had a verbal word-to-word conversation with this person, knowing good and damn well this person's lying through his fucking teeth, and to know that I could do something about it, but to know that I actually can't because I don't want to stoop that low. That sucks. That sucks. So some of the accusations I saw were that I've doxed people. 2 instances. Had no idea what doxing was or that it was an internet term or any of that. I hadn't spent the entirety of my life leading up to me making a YouTube account on the internet. I hadn't. A lot of me making these commentary videos comes from the fact that I'm being introduced to these creators and these topics for the first time, and I'm interested and I'm excited and I want to give my commentary. But there's also these people lying and saying that I doxed a former moderator of mine. Bitch, I never. I never. Homeboy was always in my live stream chat talking about his place of work. Goop.
No, I mentioned that in my message to him. Like, if that is the case, like, let's get those screenshots up, man. Let's put it to bed. But I haven't seen anything like that ever at any point, and I've been doing Deity videos for quite some time. And at no point have I seen anything like that. And I was looking, okay, because he's made this claim before that this former moderator was in his chat doing that, and I've seen zero proof of it. Please refrain from saying the moderator's name if we could.
Google. Always. He came on my live stream to talk because this man sent me so many messages back to back, wanting on my live stream, wanting on there to make his stupid jokes, to offend people. He wanted the attention. I let him come on, and this man, knowing full and damn well he was at work, was sitting there live streaming with me in the office of his place of work. He showed his tag number and his home address on my live stream and said, oops, I guess I doxed myself. Ha ha ha. He made a joke of it. But I doxed.
Here's the thing, though, is that the former moderator claims that didn't happen. And I know the live stream he's referring to, it was a conference room, it was like a nondescript conference room looking place. And it was, the camera was like angled at a wooden desk. Like, he could have been at Google. He could have been at Microsoft. He could have been at a freaking IKEA. I mean, I don't know what he's thinking here. That's not an indication of where anybody works.
Doxed him? Okay.
Dude, this is an unhealthy amount of smoking. Jesus. I mean, he must have lungs of steel. Sit there and chain smoke like this and still keep rattling on.
Yeah, Jay. Jay just mentioned the screenshots we have of that person in my live stream chat stating, I have access to RSN's Google Drives. It doesn't take a genius to wonder, how the fuck do you have access?
Okay, hold on now. Hold on. It doesn't take a genius to know that you have access. Because you have access. Okay, assuming the joke was, I have access to RSN's Google Drives. Okay, if that was the joke, then, okay, I'm a landscaper, basically, and I can get access to people's Google Drives. You can be of any profession and get access to someone's Google Drives. You don't have to work at Google to get access to someone's Google Drives. Now, I understand Deity is very non-tech savvy, but that is no. You can get access to someone's Google Drives in a variety of different ways with unauthorized access, yes, but you can get access with unrelated professions to Google.
Anything I haven't covered?
Oh, that's his fifth bunny? Okay. I gotta be keeping count. Is this a new stream or is he analyzing something from way back? This is from a week ago. This was posted on the 15th, on my birthday, funnily enough. So Yeah, I wasn't here for that. I didn't even know that this. I see. Normally, I would be sitting here waiting, and I was going to be in the chat for these type of live streams, but like I wasn't really looking out for a Deity live stream on my birthday by any means. But yeah, this is not new, but not old either.
Sorry, I muted myself. Anything that I haven't covered? You know, most oftentimes, the most simplest answer is going to be the answer. Either I'm this like scheming, evil genius, manipulative bastard, or I'm a very boring person with a humble, poor as dirt background who worked hard as fuck for everything that I have and who lost it because of discrimination.
Yes, I am a mod of deities, but as I said, when I accepted the moderator position, like if he is gonna continue to say things that I know aren't true and just in general do the same old stuff, I'm still gonna make videos on it because like that's just the way it is. But yeah, our personal issues are long since resolved. Right now, I'm just trying to figure out what he's saying about other people, and he does it in these long, vague rants, and his viewers don't know what he's talking about. So I kind of like almost feel compelled to come on here and try to elaborate for people. But no, I don't have anything personal against him. I think I showed in the beginning of the stream. I invited him on here for an interview so we can like get the whole story out in a big long format. Like I think it would be really, really fun. I mean, when me and him talked privately, I think it would be fun. Because me and him talked privately, we were laughing and joking. Like pretty much every guest I have on my live stream says they have fun. Even if they go on to hate me later, they have fun while they're there.
And then I went on to continue to be the victim of that discrimination. And the fucking kicker is, it's not even the people who were involved with it at my place of work. This person never was. But he decided to latch onto it when he thought it would get him some views. And like, I don't know if people have this like hatred of me and for me when I give my commentary because they have this like misconstrued conception of me as believing that I'm better than other people, because that is absolutely not the case. I talk about all the time how much I hate myself because of body dysmorphia and this and that and how dumb I am. But people are legit, I guess, angry with me because they think that I'm better than them, but that's not the case. Only in a very few instances is that the actual case. In making the videos about Nick Snyder, I was simply giving my commentary on Luscious Massacre and the issue she was having. Not once did I think that little old me would have had Nick all pressed with his panties in a wad. I never thought. But
that's actually a good question. I like this. Why would he make one of his critics a mod? Do you have a good professional relationship? I don't see what he would gain in modding critics. Well, how do I suggested it as that it would be a good idea to do it to moderate me, to screw with people, and he agreed. So we did it to screw with people primarily, and he also knows that I'm not like maliciously out to screw with him. That I'm not gonna like hijack my moderator position or anything. Plus, keeping me there, you know, it keeps everyone in a state of concern. Like, hey, wait a minute now. If this guy's a moderator who said all these things, like, what is he going to do while he's a moderator? You know, and it keeps people in line a little bit. What does he gain? Not really anything. He gains a moderator that'll when he's there anyway, he will, if someone's doxing him and crap, like when I was there previously, because when I first became a moderator, I saw people like posting his address in the chat, and his other moderators were timing them out. Like, no, you straight up like block them so they can't post again. Like, you time them out, they'll just 90 seconds later they're posting the address again. Like, I don't know. So he definitely gains something from moderating me. But I think it's just an interesting situation. I think we both just agreed it would be funny.
But of course, once that actually happened, here comes like the tag-alongs.
I might lose my moderator position after this, actually. I don't know. We'll see. I don't care either way, but we'll see.
I don't know. Like, it just gets exhausting and it gets frustrated knowing that each of these people, they have their own scandals and their own shit that could be brought up. You know, those that actually have a following on YouTube. Right. Right, Jay. And to know that all of this is because of someone that I had a very brief interaction with before I even created my channel. I'm talking one conversation. One.
He makes me want to get a cigarette. I don't even smoke. But I'm not for sure the specifics of this situation. He's been involved in so many controversies with like so many people. I know at one point he was talking about them being good, and I don't know if that stuck or not. That was ages ago though. This is already, he's already talking about old drama. He's talking about even older drama, talking back like last year.
You're right, Jay. Jay said, what's sad about this is how Luscious feels every day too. They bully the fuck out of him. And that's another reason that I felt this need to speak out on behalf of Luscious, because it was like 5 people speaking out against her. It's not right. But I tell you what, because Nick Snyder is as low as he is, we know it. Because he is as low as he is, when he makes a video or makes some kind of little snide remark on Twitter because he thinks he knows the tea on me, because he got it from this same fucking liar that's been moved from community to community online, he will be actively engaging in the homophobia that I have been going through, not only in my initial place of work, but here on YouTube as well. As a gay man, how could you be comfortable with that? How? Endorsing these people. But like I said, this happens every single time I get going good. You know what I mean? Like every single time I get on a roll and I'm actually putting out videos each day, this happens. And it's because this person is trying to keep me from doing anything that it is that I want to do, anything that I need to do. I lost my job over this shit. I willingly gave it up because I was so miserable there. And no one would do anything about it. And time after time after time, this same fucking person has showed up to talk shit and to lie about me here on YouTube. And time after time, I've allowed it to get in my head and I've just given up and I've stopped creating content. Every single fucking...
This person is Hillbilly Hellride, just to clarify once more. So he's, again, Hillbilly Hellride does not have a name. It's you, this person, they, them. I think I've complained about that in other videos I've made about him too. He just refuses to use names, but he insists on making hour-long live streams talking about things. Like, how, even if you know the situation, you can be confused. Imagine his viewers, who probably are just coming off the back of some of the newer content that he's been doing, are going to come to this and be like, huh, who, what, where?
Time. I'll end up going a month or so without creating content because I just don't want to deal with it. Like, I don't want to be bothered with it. And then I end up just sleeping all day and all night. But not this time. Not this time. I'm enjoying what I'm doing here. This is what I came here to do. I started this channel doing commentary on Onision and Amberlyn Reed. Had no clue that fuck-ass had ever created a channel here. No idea. How the fuck would I know? And he's gone on to be one of the biggest fucking problems. And just to know that he's probably giggling over that, like how could you be satisfied with not only the life that you're leading, sir, but what you do to people? Like, it's perfectly fine to criticize people for their actual words and their actual actions, but to stoop as low as you've stooped and to lie through your fucking teeth, that's horrible. And to know how many of these people who have a dislike for me have gone on to fall for the shit you peddle and to go ahead and give you a platform on which to continue to peddle that shit, all the while having no clue that you've essentially tricked them into discrediting themselves by platforming you to talk about shit that never even happened. But you know what? I can't wait for it to happen to Tipster News and Nicholas Diorio and them, because they pride themselves on being these sleuths that get to the bottom of it. So I can't wait. But you know what? In threatening to release Realstream News' information, because he had literally pushed me to that point, I don't feel bad about it. I don't.
Okay, I think I understand now, because I don't actually know a ton about this specific situation. I think what occurred here is somehow that Rick Snyder person talked about something, and that Hillbilly Hellride got involved. Okay, start talking about Deity, and now Deity is very angry about it. And whenever he says you, I think he definitely was referring to Hillbilly Hellride. I think. You see, this is, if you go back and watch any of my other videos on Deity or my streams about Deity reacting to him, that's a lot of what it is me in the chat trying to decipher who is he talking about at any given moment. But I think I got this one down. I think so.
Don't, because there's only so much you can do to people before they react in the same way. There's only so much people can take. And if you ask me, almost doxing someone does not compare with racism. Doesn't compare.
I don't know, man. I think almost doxing someone's pretty goddamn bad. But we'll see. I mean, in that particular case, it would have been very bad. Or at least equals.
Right, Minnie. They're so offended when people talk about them, but that's what they do on their channel. Exactly. Like, it's bizarre to me to see these people who do commentary be so upset when people talk about them. Like,
yes, me too. Me too. Although you're included in that list, though, Deity. Like, you hate it when people talk about you. That's why we get these streams like this.
I don't get it. I don't get it. It's different when someone is literally attempting to destroy your character, your reputation, all of that. And it's based on lies. I'm just thinking, because before I end this, I want to know that I've addressed everything. And the sad part is, in doing this, I am not saying anything that I haven't said before. Time and time again.
Yeah, I don't know why you keep saying it. We've already heard your version, and continuing to bring up everything in vague rants does not help your case at all. Like, legitimately, if what you're saying is true and your version of events is accurate, be silent and move on. Continuing to dwell on things and poorly defending yourself is not the way to go about it. It just makes you look worse. That's why I suggest doing my interview, a concise thing with evidence to support it. It would make sense. It would be like a good wrap up, you know, in terms of good storytelling as well. Having this all end with an interview on my channel would make sense. You know, it would be poetic in a sense, right? But all right, let us continue.
But to lie and give the reason that you're doing this because I spoke ill of your girlfriend. No. Your girlfriend was my friend. If she wasn't, I would have let her walk home every night that I had to bring her home. But I didn't. We went out of our way to bring her home. But yet, I just hated this girl so much that I chose to talk shit about her on YouTube. No.
But here's the thing, though, is that Hillbilly is claiming that that's who you were referring to. Okay, and if there's some kind of miscommunication and you weren't referring to them, I mean, I don't think he would continue on like this. Okay, he obviously is convinced that that's what occurred, and probably has, because he's been sent tons of things too, and probably has sifted through it all to find something that would indicate that. I think we're on the 6th. Again, we need to get, I think, him and Hillbilly to actually sit down and sort through the timeline here and figure things out, because he seems to think Hillbilly is completely lying. And if there is some kind of, because again, Deity does not use names. So if during that Dollar General stream where he was telling people to attack the Dollar General, if he was mentioning people and it got interpreted to say, oh, it was Hillbilly Hellride's girlfriend, that could be something that could be easily resolved. However, this is not how you resolve it. This just amplifies it, adds more fuel to the fire. We're almost done. So let us finish this.
No. And like the audacity to even believe that my subordinate, my cashier, would have had anything to do with why I chose to leave my job of 10 years. No, girl. So when you look at it and know that I never, ever said anything about his girlfriend, you're left with a very few reasons as to why he is doing this and has been doing this. And the reasons that you're left with, he's already told you. He blames me for his channel not being successful. What he's doing is attempting to get some slight attention off of me. He's trying to get some subs. He's trying to get some views because he wants to make a coin. Because he don't want to work.
I'm honestly done with that being the accusation level that people for making videos. Okay, look, for one, if you make videos on YouTube, you're doing it for attention. That's everyone on the platform. And also, he, much like me, seems to be taking breaks in between doing stuff. He seems to have other stuff going on that's outside of YouTube. So this idea that, you know, people like me and him are out here doing this for clout, like, we're not here enough to do things for clout. But anyway, let us continue on. Who? Oh, hold on. He is claiming that Hillbilly Hellright is doing all this for recognition and to get himself money so he doesn't have to work. And yeah. Oh no, Bunny. I don't think he would ever do it. I don't think he would ever sit down on a stream and actually go through everything with Hillbilly. I don't think he'll sit down with me. He won't even give me an answer. I can't even. Like I said, he either tell me no, tell me to go fuck myself, something. Like his inability to respond to people and tell them no is why he's in so many predicaments. That's another thing too. He talks about people like inserting themselves into his community. How do you insert yourself into someone's community? How does that work? If you, all of you posting in my chat, you all are inserting yourselves into my community. I don't understand his terminology for things is very weird. It's very, I don't know. It's like he thanks people just by saying things or like imposing themselves on him in some way. I don't know. The more I think about it, actually, it's kind of disturbing. Like, why are you referring to it in that fashion? Inserting yourselves into people's communities. But anyway.
He wants some coin. Jay said if she was a good friend, she'd speak the fuck up. Honestly, he's probably got her so indoctrinated that she believes that I've done those horrible things. So it's whatever. It's whatever. I had only been transferred to that store for a couple of weeks before I ended up having to quit.
That is like a weird thing to say, that Hillbilly Hellright is indoctrinating his girlfriend. That is very bad to say that on YouTube. But okay. All right. Cool. Hillbilly Hellright's girlfriend's not a YouTuber either, which is just a whole other way. How would he know? How would he know? Ugh.
And it's been months, and these motherfuckers can't let it go. Right, Taria Winter said only he can be the reason his channel is not successful. People don't want to see you play guitar. If they wanted to see you play guitar, they would watch Stevie Wolf or they would watch actual music videos. T. And I do suspect that he is the reason that my address was put everywhere shortly after he just happened to turn up.
I don't buy that for a second. You had your real name on your PayPal and everything else. It was only a matter of time. It was only a matter of time. You started posting the stuff about the Dollar General before he made his content. Okay, you gave away way too much stuff, and people could easily find it. I don't blaming him for it. That's just not fair in any capacity. Like that's bullshit. You've doxed yourself so many freaking times that you've got no one to blame for yourself, or no one to blame but yourself. That's insane. That he's blaming Hillbilly for him getting doxxed. That is so far removed from reality.
Yet again, that's just one more reason why I wish that I could just do what I would like to do and shut it all down. And it's like, I don't understand. How could people be offended or be upset when I sink as low as the people who are actively tormenting me?
Oh, I'm completely fine with doing that. If you more than happy to sink just as low, if not lower, in some cases. However, this isn't quite calling for it, in my opinion. In my opinion. That's a weird thing. What do you mean tormenting you?
I
Like,
will definitely check that out, Bella. Shit on a shingle. Fuck a bag.
like, is doing YouTube videos on someone talking about their stuff they do online, is that tormenting them? Really? Like, unless you're digging into someone's personal life and bringing up, random people they've lived with and things like that, I wouldn't consider it tormenting, personally.
It's like ridiculous. It's literally ridiculous. I'm just thinking. Oh, and about my address being spread everywhere. Stand your ground law exists.
Shoot them. I agree. Someone knocks on your door and tries to fuck you up, fill them with lead. Absolutely. Have my support. In fact, you may need to at some point if you keep pissing people off. So by all means, defend yourself.
You never know. You never know. But in doing the videos that I've been doing recently, I've had to put a lot of shit out of my mind. And seeing it brought up again, it really fucking sucks. But I can't let these people, or this one person who is so incredibly envious of where I am, which is sad because, like I said, I'm here at the bottom of YouTube with you, girl. I can't let this person stop me. I'm going to continue to do the videos that I want to do. In doing those videos, I know they're boring as fuck, but every now and then I try to make it somewhat entertaining and I try to make it somewhat comedic for everyone. I mean, because there's so much shit going on in this world. Why not have a laugh at rich people, right? Right.
Well, I think we should be able to have a laugh at everyone. But other than that, yes, I agree.
Kristen Robinson said, since your info is out there, I hope you and your family remain safe and that you guys have armed and protected yourselves. Always. But thank you. But it really sucks, and I wish that I can express it adequately. It sucks really fucking bad to have gone through this and to have having to give up my job because of that. And then when I found something that I enjoy, it happens all over again. Anyway, y'all have a good night.
And that is the end. Ooh. Deja vu. I feel like I've been here before. No joke. I feel like I've had to explain the exact same things over and over and over again. He doesn't watch any videos made about him at all. He admits this, and I believe it, because how else could you continue to be so wrong? And so, like, even if you were wanting to lie, okay, you would at least watch the videos about you so you could convincingly do it. I believe him. He doesn't watch any videos about him. He won't watch this one. He will continue to think that Grinder account. Like, I haven't told him. I could send him a message right now and tell him that Grinder account isn't Tillbillies, but he will probably. It'd probably be better if I didn't. It'd probably be better, like I said in a previous live stream, because I've said this multiple times months ago, and he still doesn't know because he's that out of the loop. We're gonna have to do something about that. But if I just choose not to tell him about that Grinder account to see if he actually does release it, give him some rope to hang himself with. Because if he actually does release it, there's no coming back from that. There is no coming back. That would be like the lowest of the low. Interesting. Is my chat updating? Does not appear to be. Interesting. Hold on. Because I got the chat open on a separate screen as well, and that one is updating, but my chat in here is not. There we go. You see, at some points, it looked like he was about to cry, but other times it didn't. Yeah. There is only one person in the store. Which, by the way, I wanna get on that one more time. His sister and him have both claimed they were too afraid to go into the Dollar General to get chips because of my videos. Okay, and now his sister is claiming as well that it's Hillbilly Hellride's girlfriend that lives in fear every time that they go into the store. So, like, how did that happen? How did that role reversal occur? Like, how did they all of a sudden become the intimidating ones? All right. Well, how is the chat doing? Who is here? Cool. It looks like we kept the people. All right. Anything anyone wants to talk about real quick before I jump off? Got to take my dogs out. This was a weird time to do a live stream, but I had a free moment. I figured I might as well get it done while I could, because otherwise it'd be another week or two, and by then this video would be old. Too old, some people would say. Even though I think that I should be able to cover things a year from now, 6 years from now, especially if it talks about me. You know, if I stumble upon a video made a year ago and it talks about me, I'm gonna bring it up. You know, it's new to me, so to speak. It is 3 p.m. or just before 3 p.m. How many dogs do I have? I have 6 currently. Well, I have 5, but there are 6 here. Didn't you think before I had 9 dogs? No, I do not have 9 dogs. Believe me, 9 dogs was too many. Is Discord active? Well, the Discord I gave out, that was just like a thing for my personal Discord. I don't have an actual Discord server. And no, I don't have it. The reason I don't have a Discord server is because right now it wouldn't be active. It'd be a dead place. Well, the accent is American. But yes. Yeah, I don't have a Discord. Maybe like if I'm a larger channel. The thing about Discord too is that you get Discords and crazy stuff happens. Like crazy stuff happens in Discords. So, but yeah, I should probably jump out of here. Oh yeah, I should probably get some sleep too. I haven't slept in 2 days, so definitely need to get some sleep myself. But yeah, actually, I'm gonna jump off because my dogs are surrounding me with the bathroom eyes. So, all right, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, as is tradition, and I will see you next time.